to Designs by Diane. Today we're going to look at a whole cloth quilt and how to draw our own. And then we're going to layer the layers and baste them together so that we can hoop them and learn to hand quilt. Come along and let's get busy. We need to talk about a few special tools we're going to need to quilt this quilt when we get it done. This is a quilt hoop that's a double-decker. I got this in Paducah, Kentucky. It's from the Morgan Hoop Company. I love it. You can use either side. If you're doing smaller work, you use the smaller rim, and larger I use for my quilting. It sits up in your lap very nicely if you want to take it in the car and quilt when you're riding along with with someone else driving. It is very easy to re-hoop too because you just slide it over, it hangs over automatically, and you can re-hoop. You can use a single hoop. Make sure it's not so large though that it's awkward to reach across it. Also, make sure it is a quilting hoop. This should be a nice size right here. If it's an embroidery hoop, it's not strong enough and it will come apart. We also need a few things to make our designs. We're going to need some stencils. This is a small stencil that I have. I pick up stencils just about anywhere. This is one, has a lot of curly cues and doodads for borders. Here is one. It's nice for a large block. We're going to draw in these open areas of the stencil so that we can make our designs. You can also get templates and rulers that have designs in them. These are different sized hearts, and I used it on the one we're going to do today. So we want to get a lot of things that we can draw with. We need blue painter's tape. We're going to take the pattern that we've chosen and tape it down and then tape our fabric over it so we can trace it through with these blue washout pens. Now these pens will wash out great in cold water. Don't use soap and don't use heat. Just dunk it in some cold water when you're done and these will come out. This is called the Mark Be Gone pen, and this one I like the best. This tape will not leave adhesive on your fabric either, so it's really nice. The next thing I want to show you are rubber fingers. These are the fingertips of gloves that I buy. I will put one on my thumb as I'm working, and it helps me to grab the needle and pull it on through. They make special ones for this, but after a while you lose them and you just get some Playtex gloves and use those. Now, our thimbles. I want to show these to you really, really well so you know what I'm talking about. This is a regular thimble that you put on your finger to sew. It has a slick top. It has some little nubbies in it, but it's a slick top. This is a quilter's thimble. You put it on your finger. It has a recessed area right here. It's got an actual lip around the edge, and this is what you want for hand quilting. So you may have to mail order those or go to a quilt shop to find those. We need thread. This is hand quilting thread. You want to make sure you get the right thing. It's not regular thread like you use in a sewing machine. You need this quality thread. Many times it is already waxed and you don't have to worry with it. It does not knot up. Also, when you're quilting with this thread, you're only going to use it one thickness. You're not going to double it like you do sewing on a button. So we want to make sure we get the right thread. This is beeswax. If you do need it for your fabric, get some beeswax. This is what I've got left of one. I've had years and years. And it will help you to be able to hold on to your thread a little bit better. If I'm brave, I'm going to show you this Aunt Becky and how it is used. It is used on the hand that's underneath, and you slide it back and forth and you load your needle, and I'm going to see if I can get that to work right. These are your needles that you use, and you see how short they are. But these are quilter's needles. They have to be short so that you can get those little bitty stitches that we want to strive for. Here are some safety pins. We can either pin our layers together, our quilt top that we're going to draw, our batting and our backing, or we can use number 1 safety pins, the smaller size. The number of the pin denotes about how many inches long it is, so we want number 1s if we have to use those. A couple of other nice things. I have this retractable contraction that I got at the men's tool place. It's for car keys or any kind of keys, but I use it to put my scissors on, and I clip this to my vest or my top that I'm wearing, and I don't have to chase my scissors around. We're going to need our fabric and some basting spray, some type of quilt basting spray to put our layers together with. And the fabric I've gotten is cotton sateen. We're going to use white cotton sateen for this quilt today. And you want to use white batting, either low-loft polyester or a low-loft cotton, and that will make it look very nice. Also, we're going to use just some white muslin on the back. We'll get ready to start drawing our design on and get busy. This is the quilt top that I've done for today's show. I took an angel that I had in a book from years ago, and I blew her up, and I got her like I wanted her. And then I just started drawing other things around it that I wanted to quilt. So you can draw anything you want on here. This blue will wash out when you're done, but right now we need the lines to go by. So let's get busy drawing our quilt top. This is the design that I have drawn. As I said, I found this in a book years ago and blew it up and played with it until I got it like I wanted it. I have found the center of my drawing. I have a little plus sign right here. I want to know where the center is so that I can place my fabric over it and get it centered on the fabric. I'm going to layer this on the table and tape it down and then put my fabric on top of it with the center point of the fabric on this plus, on this little mark right here. And then I know everything will be centered.